Ain't you tired of enslaving, huh? Come with us, make some paper, cause you should own what you label.
Hey guys, it's Destiny Maverick. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with another story time. And as y'all know, this week is Storytime week, so look out for a new story on my channel Monday through Friday of this week only. Today's story is going to be the time that I got arrested on my 17th birthday. And so let's just go ahead and get into it. Yeah. Alright, so it was my birthday. I was turning 17. Well, I turned 17. And I didn't have any plans because my mom was like, no, for your 16th birthday, I threw you a party. And then she was going to do something big for me for my 18th birthday. But I think for my 18th birthday, I was in college already. Like, yeah, I turned 18 when I was in college. So I had already lived in Atlanta and on campus by then. But anyway, so my mom was like, I'm not doing nothing for your 17th birthday. You got like graduation coming up, etc. Like, you can make your own plans. So I'm like, cool. Mind you, I had just crashed my car, so I didn't have no car. So whoever I was going to invite to my birthday plans had to have a car because I wasn't about to have my mom drive me around for my 17th birthday. Like, no. This guy that I have been cool with since like 5th grade, I used to call him my big brother. For the name of this story, for the sake of this story, we're going to call him, what can we call him? We're going to call him Vaughn. Okay, people who know him, they're going to know exactly who this is, and I don't care. But we're going to call him Vaughn. All right, so Vaughn called me, and he like,
sis, what up? Like, what we doing for your birthday? What's going on? You the big 1-7. You about to move out of town. You know we gotta get into something tonight. Like, what's going on?
So I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to do, you know? And he like,
man, I'm gonna call you right back. I'm about to put a little something together for you. You know what I'm saying? I got you. Don't even trip.
So I'm like, cool. It ain't nothing. Like, just call me right back. Let me get my girls together. So I call my friends. I'm like, girl, Vaughn said that he gonna get something together for my birthday or whatever, so you know it's about to be a party. Go ahead and pick out your outfits, get you an overnight bag because you're staying over my house. I'm thinking it wasn't about to be nothing but like, you know, going out, maybe going to dinner, maybe even sneaking in some drinks, you know what I'm saying? Underage drinking is not okay. I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying I made my own mistakes. Okay, so like I was saying, he probably was gonna sneak in some drinks, you know what I'm saying? Maybe like a pool party, like I don't know. I was just thinking it was gonna be something regular. Nothing regular happens in Dayton, Ohio. Like, you think you're gonna have a regular night in Dayton and it always turned into something extra, bruh. Like, just watch how this night go wrong. So basically, when he told me that he's gonna get something together, I get my friends together. My friends come over my house. We drive to one of my friends' aunt's house who lived like 6 streets over or something like that. So we go over her house and we chilling out or whatever. And her aunt had bought us some Jamaican Me Happy, like wine coolers or whatever. So we drinking those, we turning up, and then somebody came over and busted out some Four Locos. I can't remember who came over, but I just know so many people kept stopping by because everybody was telling people that it was my birthday. Like, the people who I was with, my 3 friends, I'll give them a name like in a minute when it's important. Every time that anybody would call them, they'll be like, yeah, it's Destiny's birthday, like, come over, it's Destiny's birthday, like, you gotta say hey, make sure you come, like, show her some love or whatever. At this point, everybody's coming through, everybody's bringing me like, oh, I got you a bottle for your birthday, and oh, I got you like some money, or like people was bringing me wings. Like, it was cool. Like, it was a good little birthday so far. But I'm still waiting on Vaughn to call me back because I'm like, all right, Vaughn, where the party at? Is my name gonna be in the balloons? Like, what's happening? Like, is they gonna wear hoodies with me on it? Like, what? I just want to know, like, when can I be, you know, the star? Where is this happening at? Like, and I'm like, okay, this is cool, but, you know, I'm still looking at my phone like, when is Vaughn gonna call me back with the plans? Like, we've been over here forever. Sitting over my friend's auntie's house is fun and everything because the music, the vibe, you know, the food, but still, like, I was ready for my birthday turn up. Like, he made it sound like the ultimate party. Like, we was really about to tear it down, like, period. He taking all day, and I'm like, dang, like, when is the party gonna be? I got my bathing suit in my bag just in case it's for a pool, but then again, I had on something real cute just in case he was gonna sneak us into a club, because I was turning 17, or I was 17, but Vaughn was like 20 at this time, but he looked like 29. Like, he was an old man looking dude, like, from jump. Like, even when we was little, he looked older, and he had a super deep voice, and he just always carried himself like an older guy, and so he was always able to, like, smooth talk his way into clubs or whatever. So I'm thinking, okay, let me wear some heels just in case, like, he take us to a club. And the heels that I wore was like open toe heels. It was like sandals but heels, kind of. And I had on some jeans with rips in them, and then I had on a shirt that was like sequin, but it was like kind of low, like right here with the little shaky, little shingly part right here. And I had on a jean jacket. So we're at the house, at my friend's aunt's house, and Vaughn finally calls me. So I'm telling my friends, like, y'all turn down the music, Vaughn calling. Like, I'm saying this like I'm about to be on the radio or something. Like, turn down the music, my phone ringing. Like, Vaughn calling. I answer the phone, and Vaughn's telling me, like,
Yeah, you know, I'm taking you and your girls to the bus. Sis. Make sure you got all your stuff ready. Get you a duffel bag. Make sure you got your bathing suit. Y'all ain't gotta bring no towels or nothing like that. Bring your hair wraps. Make sure you and your girls ready, because I'm taking y'all to the bus. Don't worry about no food. Don't worry about no drinks. Don't worry about no nothing. Everything on me. Everything on me and my man.
I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, whoever this dude is, and he like, for real, like, I got bruh with me, you feel me? I got Big Unk with me. I'm like, I don't know who bruh, Big Unk, and all of them are, but I just know, like, you're throwing me a party. And what I should have been thinking was, who are these men that I'm about to be riding to a whole nother city with? For everybody that's not from Dayton or from Ohio or whatever, the bus is a nickname for Columbus, Ohio, which is a little over an hour drive away from where I lived at the time. This is where it got crazy. So I'm like, all right, are y'all gonna come pick us up, or do we gotta meet y'all out there, because we can like drive out there or whatever? And I was with a girl named, what we gonna call her, Beejay. I was with a girl named Beejay, and she was driving her aunt's car, and her aunt wasn't like one of those strict type of aunties. Like, she didn't care if we took her car. We used to have her car for like days, and she would not care. I think that's kind of why we used to be at her house all the time. But anyways, so Vaughn is like, yeah, we're gonna pick y'all up or whatever, just have y'all stuff ready. So I'm like, cool. I get all my stuff ready. I got on my jacket. Like 20 minutes later, he called me. Boom, he outside. Then all my friends was geeking, because two of them kind of liked Vaughn. So every time that he would come around me or whatever, they'd be trying to ask me, like, tell Vaughn, like, let me get his number, or tell Vaughn I said what up, like, do he still got a girlfriend? I'm like, ooh, like, y'all not my friends acting this thirsty, girl. Let's just say Vaughn was responsible for me losing a friend or two in my time. Shout out to you, Vaughn, because I'm sure you know it's you too. Hey. We get outside, and the way a lot of houses are on this street called Hillcrest is all the houses are like on a hill. Like, this your porch up here, and then it's like some steps down this long hill, and then cars park like down here way at the street. So he parked all the way down the hill, and we standing on the porch like, is this fool picking us up in a van? Like, I'm not finna ride no creep daddy van to the bus. No, I'm not finna ride to Columbus in no creep daddy van, especially like it was one of those ugly vans where like you always think of them people that like got big fat back TVs. The cream vans with like the brown thin stripes on the side that look like a motorhome, kind of like a church van. I can't explain it, but y'all know what I'm talking about, those vans with the little umbrella thing over the windshield like that. Okay, so pause. I called him from the top of the stairs, and I'm like, man, I'm not going to Columbus in no van, bruh. And he was like,
Sis, it ain't even like that. You gotta get inside the van. It's about what's inside the van.
So I'm like, bro, what they got in this van? Like, it better be the most bangingest margarita. Like, what is happening? So he like, bro, just come see inside the van. So I'm scared. Nobody tell me to come see inside no van, and I'm just willy-nilly walking to a van. My friends was like, all right, I'm gonna come with y'all or whatever. So then my friend's little brother, he was kind of like big or whatever, like kind of tall and like buff. And he was like, all right, I'm gonna come with y'all just in case like they on some like schemey type stuff. So I'm like, all right, I don't think Vaughn would be on nothing like that, but I mean, you can come if you want to or whatever. So we walking down the stairs. My friend started fixing her clothes so she could look good for Vaughn. He pop out the van like, happy birthday, sis. We get into the van. Why is it TVs, like more than 5 TVs in the back seat, like boop, 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 like TVs everywhere throughout this van, all playing the same freaking music video. It was like something straight out of Belly. Like, I couldn't even deal. And then on top of that, like, some of the seats was like rotating around. I'm like, this is too much. How did y'all get all of this into this church van? And I don't know, like, maybe they wanted the van to look regular on the outside. It was a lot. Like, it was real extra. It had these carpets in it that make your feet warm. Like, I don't know how they do that, but they had it. I don't know how they got this van in general. Like, it was never confirmed for me who van it was in the first place, for real. My friends are like, ooh, this van is tight. This van is tight. We definitely finna go to Columbus now. And I'm just in my head like, it's not like we're gonna go to Columbus in this van and stunt on nobody, because they can't see the inside of the van when we ride past. Like, they can only see the outside, and it looked like we in a church van. One of my other friends is texting me like back to back to back to back to back. Mind you, and we're gonna call her Beejay. We're gonna call her Beejay. Beejay kept texting me back to back to back, and she was one of those friends who, like, she took into the relationship much more than I did. She used to text me like, best friend, good morning, what you doing? Is you ready to stun on these hoes today? What's going on? You looking cute, saw you on Facebook, da 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 da. Had to let them know it's my best friend's birthday, we're turning up. Like, she was just so extra, like, you could never get her to stop. And like, I didn't even know her like that. I knew her for a couple months, but anytime that somebody had a problem with me though, like, she was the main one, like, kind of like trying to shut it down, or she would like jump into fights for me and stuff like that. So, you know, I mean, you can call me your best friend if you're doing all that. I ain't gonna tell you to stop. Basically, BJ kept texting me back to back, like, best friend, where is you at? What is we doing for your birthday, girl? What's happening? What is going on? What's the plan? What's the move? Like, what's happening? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna swing by and have Vaughn come pick you up or whatever. One of my friends that was in the van, we're gonna call her, okay, we're gonna call her Ren. So Ren was like, your phone is jumping or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, it's BJ. And she was like, BJ? You talking about BJ that always be wearing those hot pink pumps to the club every week? And I'm like, I don't know what she wears to the club every week. I've never been out with her. So this is so lame. All right. So I'm like, I ain't never been to the club with her before. I don't know what she wears to the club every week. She was like, yeah, she wear them hot pink pumps all the time. She was like, I ain't know until I started going with her. I'm like, you used to go with BJ? She was like, yeah, that's my ex-girlfriend. Now, BJ was one of those people who, like, would look down on people if they were gay or if they had any type of like curiosity in their sexuality. Like, she would call you all type of like derogatory terms and think it's funny. So for me to hear that she was dating Ren, it was like, okay, BJ, I see you dipping in the lady pond. Don't act like you too good. She was like, yeah, that's my ex-girlfriend. I put that on everything. I'm like, all right, well, we about to pull up to her house, so we gonna see. Vaughn, at this point, is calling his friends to come to the bus with us. And I'm like, your friends are not coming to Columbus with me and my friends. Like, no, this is not finna turn into a big, like, couples night or nothing. He was like, I'm just saying, I can't put my friends on with your friends. It ain't like they don't already go to school together. I'm like, okay, but if they was gonna talk at school, they should have talked at school. They're not gonna talk on my birthday. That's not what this is about. Like, the day was literally supposed to be about me. So he's telling his friends like never mind not to come or whatever, because he know how I am. Like, I'm real petty. I would be the one to sit there and block, like, no, don't talk to my friend, no, because I know how you are. Don't talk to her, period. Like, not finna mess with, no. He telling his friends like, nah, don't come or whatever. And the select few of his friends that I had knew for a long time, he would tell them like, all right, y'all can come. So while he making these calls or whatever, I'm getting the address from Beejay to where her house is. Mind you, that's my best friend, but I never been over her house. She texts me like, what do I need to wear? Is we going to the club when we get to Columbus? Because you already know I'm going to be in there. She used to be like, I'm going to be in there dairy. I ain't heard nobody say dairy in a minute. She used to be like, I'm going to be in there dairy. Well, she did used to be the type to wear like a polo shirt with the plaid shorts and the heels. You already know I'm coming through fresh, girl. Everything dairy. She was like, everything dairy. You already know me, polo down, hot pink pumps. It's whatever. And like, she had the, this is when everybody was trying to wear the Nicki Minaj bangs still. So she had the bangs with the high ponytail, the top knot like Keisha from Belly. Why do I keep referencing Belly in this story? I need to watch that. Shorty can't eat no books, cuz. At this point, it was like 12:30, like past midnight or whatever. And I'm telling Vaughn, like, all right, man, look, you already told all your friends they can't come. We already done stopped at every gas station we need to stop at. Like, what's happening? Is we leaving or what? Like, I'm getting used to the van. Like, I'm starting to like the TVs. I'm spinning around in my chair a little bit. Like, everything cool, but we can't party in a van for 2 hours. Like, eventually I gotta go home in the morning. So what's going on? He like, yeah, man, I'm just waiting on, we're gonna call him Josh. All right, so he like, I'm just waiting on Josh to bring my phone charger or whatever, and then we can be out or whatever. I'm like, all right, but we gotta go pick up Beejay. And he like, okay, cool. Man, 5 minutes later, the dude Josh pull up and he got Vaughn's charger, but then he tell Vaughn that Vaughn's little brother just got into a fight at another club that was down the street. So Vaughn is like, all right, sis, look, I'm about to go check on little bruh. I'm gonna be right back. It ain't about to be nothing. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, we still going to the bus. Don't even trip or whatever. I'm gonna have Big Unc take your girls to wherever y'all want to go or whatever, and then y'all gonna pick me up, swoop me, boom, to the bus. And I'm like, all right, I'm not finna wait all night. Like, in my head, like, I know I'm making other plans, because when he get like fighting and all that stuff, like, that stuff take all night. I've been with him before, like, when he got into a fight at the club. That's not like worth being around. What happened next? Oh yeah, so I had to do in the van Big Unc. Now mind you, I didn't know his name, so I just called him Big Unc. I got in the passenger seat and I was like, yo, Big Unc, it's my birthday. Me and my girls trying to kick it. You said that you was gonna take us to wherever we need to go or whatever, and that's what Vaughn said too. So can you just take us over my friend Beejay's house or whatever? And when I said that, my two of my friends that were in the back, we're gonna call them Ashley and Denisha. So Ashley and Denisha was like, I'm not going over there because I don't like none of Beejay's friends or whatever. And if we go over there, I'm gonna fight one of her friends. Like, I already know how I am. So I'm like, all right, bro, like, do y'all at least want to go out? And they start acting like party poopers, and you had us all hyped to go to the bus. Why we not going to the bus? I'm trying to go to the bus. I brought this outfit for the bus. The bus. Like, they just could not stop talking about the bus. So I'm like, no, bro, we're not going to the bus. Do y'all want to go to the club or not? Because at this point, I don't think he's coming back. And of course, Big Unc sitting in the front like, dang, like, he just left. Y'all ain't even gonna give him a chance. Like, no, I don't know whose uncle you are, but obviously you ain't been around this man when some drama come and happen, because it's not gonna go by quickly. I'm telling my friends, like, all right, well, I'm gonna just drop y'all off at home because I'm having a good time tonight. Like, period. It's my 17th birthday. Nobody planned nothing for me except Vaughn, and he's in unfortunate circumstances. So, you know, I'm gonna have to move on with my night. And Beejay seems to be the only person still turned about my birthday. So I'm gonna go kick it with her, like, soak up some of her vibe. Like, hey, Beejay girl, what's up, best friend? What's good? What we doing? My best friend finna ask, she finna ask. So at that point, it was like, let's go straight over to Beejay's house, turn up, don't say nothing about her hot pink pumps so y'all won't get into a fight. Don't say nothing about being her ex-girlfriend. I'm telling Ren this because I know how Ren is. Like, she will say anything that's on her mind. in front of anybody too, your mama, whoever. So I'm telling her like, don't say nothing that's gonna cause some drama, because they're both really like quick to pop off. So I'm like, don't cause any drama or whatever. She like, okay, I'm not. Like, I'm gonna be nice to her. It's gonna be awkward, but I'm gonna be nice to her. I'm like, I don't care how awkward it is, as long as I go to the club, turn up, spend a night over BJ's house, since I'm not spending the night at the hotel and the bus. I'm like, I'm spending the night over BJ's house or whatever, and you could just walk home with me in the morning, and then I have my mom drop you off at home when we walk home. So she like, all right, cool. We get over BJ's house. We pop up out the van. She like, oh, we riding big boy? I'm like, no, he ain't taking us. Let's find something else to do. She like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no reason to let that shut down your birthday, best friend. You already know. I mean, I'm about to get you together. Let's go to the club. Now, I don't remember the name of this club for the life of me, and I've been trying to remember for weeks. It was at the top of Main Street, not by Chicken Louie's. At the top, towards like Marathon, like in that direction. I can't say how far up because I don't remember. But I just know we went to the top of Main Street to this club. So she like, let me go get dressed real quick or whatever, and I'm gonna come right back out, and then we can go. Like, I'll take us up there or whatever. And I'm like, dang, like, I didn't know she could drive. I should have been kicking it with BJ all this time. BJ is taking a while to get ready, and I was about to go in her house and use the bathroom, and Ren was like, don't go in there. I'm like, why I can't go into her house to use the bathroom or whatever? She was like, you been over here before? I'm like, no. She was like, don't go in there. I'm like, why? She was like telling me how, like, since BJ's dad is a well-known drug dealer, that their house is not always clean because not always used for legal stuff. So she was saying like the bathrooms be dirty sometimes because they just move from house to house, like they don't really stay in one place. So I'm like, okay, well, I could put some tissue down. Like, I really got to pee. She was like, let's just walk to the store. Like, you do not want to go in their bathroom. And she was telling me, like, BJ don't even shower at her house. She go over her aunt's house to take a shower. And she just keeps her clothes at her dad's house because, like, a lot of people don't go over there. BJ's getting ready. She comes out. And when she comes out, we're walking back from the store. Because we did walk up the street to this little mini mart and used the bathroom and came back or whatever. And we was walking back from the store, she was like, all right, y'all, I got the keys, I'm ready to go. I'm thinking she got her dad's keys or whatever to one of his cars, because I've seen him in different cars before, so I didn't think nothing of it. She was like, all right, y'all, I got the keys, I'm ready to go. And she just talking the whole time we're in the car about like, yeah, you already know we shutting down the picture booth. I'm buying all the pictures, best friend. Don't worry about buying nothing. You ain't got to pay for nothing. You're here with me. At the end of the day, we about to turn up. Da-da-da-da-da, best friend, best friend, best friend. She just could not stop saying best friend. After all the best friendliness in the car, we get to the club, and her phone is ringing back to back to back to back to back. So I'm like, answer your phone. She like, no, girl, it's my dad. He getting on my nerves. Like, I'm not answering his call so he could try to take the car from me. Like, he the one told me I could use it. I don't care if he drunk or not. So I'm like, dang, like, your dad be drunk like that? He forgetting what he just told you? She like, yeah, girl, he just told me I could use the car. And every time he do this, he called me right back, like, bring my car. You need to bring my car. And I tell him, like, no, you just said I could use it. So I'm like not thinking nothing of it because that is not out of the norm. For the people I grew up with, people's parents was crazy. So I just thought that's how her dad was. Anyway, so we get to the club. She gave me her cousin's ID that was over 21, and me, her, and Ren was already over 21. So me, BJ, and Ren go in there. Of course, BJ got on her hot pink pumps. So I'm like, yes, 17, yes, hey, birthday, give me all that. All of a sudden, you just hear on the DJ booth, from the DJ booth, like, BJ Austin, you're needed outside. BJ Austin, you are needed outside. So I'm like, dang, like, why you gotta go outside? Like, I hope the car not getting towed or nothing. We gonna get in trouble by her dad? We get outside, it's the police standing at the car. So we get to the car, and I'm, like, on my way walking to the car, I'm thinking, like, okay, you know, she be having my back sometimes. I'm not gonna let her get in trouble by herself. I'm gonna just say I heard her dad say we could take the car, so that way if they say she stole the car or if her daddy reported it stolen, we not gonna get in trouble. They're just gonna drop us off at home, chop it up as a loss, you know what I'm saying? They wasted their time. Tell him stop drinking so much, let her go. Like, you know, that's the end of that. And plus she on probation just like everybody else in Dayton, so it ain't like she didn't know what could happen, like if she stole her parents' car. Like, I'm sure she did it before. Yeah, the cop says to her, ma'am, can we see your license and registration, please? And she was like, this is my dad's car. And then they was like, okay, do you have your license? And she's like, no, but my dad told me that I can use his car to come up here and pick up some money from my uncle. Now, her uncle was the bartender at this club, so I can understand how she came up with that. Real quick thinking. Good job, Beejay, if you're watching this. I know you remember that. So, she's like, yeah, my dad said we could take the car, so I come up here with my uncle or whatever. Come and get the money from my uncle. And the police officer was like, okay, well, we're going to need to see some ID from all of you girls. So I'm like, what would you need to see my ID for? Like, I just rolled up here with her. So he takes my ID, and he also takes the cousin's ID that I had, like BJ's cousin's ID that was 21. And he was like, okay, well, this one is you. Who is this? And I was like, oh, I was just holding for our friend who's going to meet me at a party that we're going to later tonight. And he was like, well, it's 1:30. Y'all going to another party tonight? And BJ was like, yeah, what is this about? And I'm just like, oh, God, her mouth saved the day for once. And he was like, well, you know, we got reports that this car was stolen from this, and this property, and start saying her dad's address. And she was like, my daddy reported the car stolen. And the police officer was saying, like, he couldn't tell us who reported the car stolen, but no, it wasn't her dad or whatever. And then he kept telling her, like, stop lying, this is not your dad's car. Like, is that the best you can come up with? And I'm just like, whoa, like, this is getting hostile. Like, they're arguing back and forth. She's like, this is my dad's car. I got the keys from my dad. And he's like, well, this car is reported stolen and it wasn't reported by your dad, so we need answers. We're gonna need you to get in the car. I'm like, no, I get in the car on my birthday. I'm like, get in a police car. And mind you, like, I'm a little bit tipsy, so, you know, I'm overly emotional. And I'm in my head like, man, I'm not trying to get in this police car. Like, God, if you just give me this one last birthday before I move out of Dayton, to just, you know, reflect on my life and how blessed I am, I will not ever sneak into a club again. So I'm just praying in my head that, like, we really not about to go to jail over still in no car. Because what if they left us in jail all weekend, then we have to go to court on Monday about it and talk about it? I'm like, like, I'm not finna spend 48 hours in no jail. Like, it's Friday at that. The officer starts putting handcuffs on us, and I'm like, oh my God. So they put us into the car or whatever, and they start, like, typing in all this stuff about, like, from our IDs and stuff. And they started telling BJ, like, oh, we see you got a warrant for this, and this. And I'm like, oh, warrant? How you got a warrant? Like, we at the club in a stolen car and you got a warrant. So they're like, you got a warrant for this, and this. And something about, like, petty theft, but I mean, everybody who grew up in Dayton had a petty theft charge at one time or another. I was blessed to not get caught in any of those situations. He was like, yeah, you know, you shouldn't be out anyway, especially not on the scene like this or whatever. He was like, yeah, I wonder what your dad's gonna have to say about this, and I know you're PO too. So he telling her, like, he knows her probation officer, he gonna report this, and that. He knows she probably been underage drinking, yada yada. The whole time, Ren is like, see, I told you we should have never just went over her house, bro. We should have not even went over her house. We should have just went home, bro. We should have just stayed in the van and just went home, bro. So I'm like, Ren, like, chill. Like, you're over 21. Like, you're going to be fine or whatever. And you didn't know nothing about the car. And it wasn't your plan. So technically, they might let you go home first. So we all sitting in the back of this police car, just, like, rocking back and forth, looking cute, too, man. Rocking back and forth, like, dang, bro, like, I really hope you don't go to jail, man. So as we sitting there, her phone just kept on ringing, and she asking, like, officer, it's my dad calling. Can I use my phone or whatever? Can I answer my phone? And the officer picked up her phone and was basically, like, talking to her dad about, like, what do he want? What does he want him to do with Beejay. Like, do you want me to take her to the station? What you want me to do? Because she has run away before, so her parents have sent her to jail before. So the officer was like, what you want me to do with her tonight, sir? And he was like, man, just bring her back. We get back to her house, man. Basically, when the officers decided that they would take us back, they said they would drop all of us off at her house, since that was the house that we left from with an adult. So I'm like, thank God, because I do not need to wake my mama up on this fine Friday night. Well, early Saturday morning at this point. But either way, I did not need to wake my mama up. Like, no, like, I'm not going through that, period. The officer dropped us all off at her house. And I'm just thinking, God, in my head, like, yes, man, like, ooh, this is gonna be a good birthday year. Like, I'm gonna keep it on the straight and narrow this year, just like I promised God. Like, for real, I really am. Like, I'm about this life. Like, for real, thank you. Like, I'm free. Like, I could taste freedom. So at this point, you know, I'm grateful for my journey. And I'm sitting on the porch at Beejay's house, waiting on her dad to come outside, and the police officer standing there with us. I'm still praying in my head. All of a sudden you hear smack. And I'm like, oh, like, wait a minute. I turn around. Beejay's daddy done smacked the mess out of her. And a police officer basically walked away like he knew he had it from there or something. I'm like, oh, all right. So, you know, no such thing as child abuse no more. But I guess he ain't see her as a child, and he ain't see that as abuse, considering, like, how much interaction she had with the law on a regular basis. Her daddy smacked the mess out of her. I'm like, dang, bro, like, why you do it like that? All of a sudden, he started yelling, you don't take nobody's keys off my table. You don't take nobody's keys off my table. What's wrong with you? What the F is wrong with you, bro? What's wrong with you, bro? And I'm like, dang, like, her dad talked to her like a little boy or something, like, or a grown man, rather. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? What's wrong with you, bro? You don't take no keys off my table, bro? What's wrong with you, bro? And, like, really is, like, socking her in her chest a little bit, like he, like, that's his teenage son. Like, I don't know. I didn't like it. And she just, like, started crying, like, Dad, bro, it wasn't even, bro, I swear to God, you make it seem like I did that on purpose, bro. Like, dang. And the whole time I'm thinking, like, okay, well, just because she grabbed some keys off the table, like, she said that he told her that she could take the car. Oh, he was like, this is why I don't have you over here with your little friends when it's people over here. You know how much money you cost me by taking that car? That was Sam's car. And it just all came together. Okay, so Sam is this dude who was like a really, I'm gonna say popular, because like he ain't popular, but he's this guy who was like on drugs, and everybody knew he was on drugs, but like everybody knew him. I can't explain it. He was like your friendly local neighborhood druggie. I don't like using those other words because they're mean, so I'm gonna say druggie. But yeah, so he was like, that was Sam's car or whatever, and I guess Sam was like probably her dad's like number one like customer dude or whatever. So basically, we accidentally stole her daddy's customer's car to go clubbing for my birthday, and that's why we got arrested. And because of her dad knowing the cop, we didn't go to jail. So I mean, I don't know how else to end it because that's pretty much it. Her dad was cussing her out for the rest of the night. Oh, no, that is not the end of it. Yeah, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. We walking up the street. She talking about, let's go over to my cousin's house. We get to her cousin's house. Her cousin talking about, I'm not at home. I'm at the bootleg. So we walk to the bootleg. The bootleg is like 3 streets over. For everybody who don't know what a bootleg is, it's a house, usually like a bando, like a abandoned house where they sell alcohol and other stuff out of without a license. Like a club / bar that's held inside of a house because they don't got no licenses and don't want to be found out that don't got licenses. So yeah, you just call it the bootleg. So she like, let's go to the bootleg. We get to the bootleg. You walk in, all the windows is covered in black plastic bags or whatever. So we go in the basement, we look for her cousin to get the keys from her cousin or whatever, to go back over her cousin's house and just stay at their house for the night. Well, when she's getting the keys from her cousin, she starts dancing and having drinks and stuff. And I'm like, Beejay, bro, like, we just got arrested. You want to have another party? Like, it's not even my birthday no more at this point. It's not about me. I don't care. Like, let's go to sleep so I can go home tomorrow. I'm not walking home tonight so my mama can ask me, like, why I'm coming home just now. So, Beejay at this point is like turning up, ignoring me, not paying me no attention, won't give me the keys to go to her cousin's house, because at that point I said I would go by myself. Ren was texting her boyfriend to come pick her up, so she wasn't worried about what I was gonna do or where I was going anyway. I'm pretty sure she was mad at me for getting her arrested. Sorry, Ren, girl, my bad. I'm texting my cousin to see if she could get anybody to pick me up. Now, mind you, Vaughn had been calling me. Vaughn had been calling me while we was in a police car, but I didn't know until I checked my missed calls. I checked my missed calls. He like, man, where you been at? I've been looking for you all night, getting ready to go to the bus. We already out here now, bro. You want me to send somebody come get y'all? I'm like, man, no, I'm not coming to Columbus no more. My whole night is ruined, no doubt about it. And he was like, all right, well, I mean, my sister at home if y'all want to stay at my house with her. I'm like, all right, because I told him everything about, like, BJ's dad putting us out, and he knows BJ's dad because their dads work together. So we go over, oh, God. I get BJ to finally walk with me. After Ren's boyfriend picked her up, we walked from the bootleg to, like, a couple blocks up to Vaughn's house with his sisters. So we stayed over there. I fall asleep after finally getting BJ to calm down from being so drunk. I fall asleep or whatever. The next day, I wake up and my shoes are gone. Like, my shoes are gone. And all I know is BJ was gone too, and I never heard from her again. Now, mind you, she was best friend in it, like, left and right when I first got cool with her, all the way up until the time where we actually hung out for my birthday. But I guess she felt like, since we had that little awkward moment, that I wasn't gonna be cool with her no more anyway, so she might as well take my shoes. I don't know. All I know is I never saw her in the shoes, but I know her and the shoes left at the same time, and that's my story, y'all. I got arrested. She stole my shoes. It was my birthday. I didn't go to the bus. It was just a lot. And I'll see y'all tomorrow in the next video.